Hello again, rail fans. It's Travis from RockRiverRails. Today I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and behind me is the Mitchell Park Domes. And today we are going to take you inside the domes. And not only that, they have trains inside the domes. So a train show and all that goes with it. So here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, thanks for coming along. Please give us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And let's go check out the train show inside the Mitchell Park Domes. After an hour and 15-minute drive, we arrive at the Mitchell Park Domes. The domes are actually large greenhouses, so multiple plants and vegetation inside of those. The main portion of the train show we're checking out today is inside this separate greenhouse. But they also have an exhibit inside the domes, and we'll check that out later. But first off, we're inside the large greenhouse that is separate from the dome area. And a picture of inside the greenhouse here. They did have some stuff for sales, but not a lot of vendors at this show. It was more geared towards exposing the general public to various model railroad layouts in different scales. But there was some stuff for sale at this vendor here. Some Lionel O-gauge, this Wisconsin and Southern locomotive, more O-gauge, various HO scale, some HO scale locomotives for sale, more of that here, Atlas, Bachmann, Kato, and even some N scale for sale at this vendor. So all different scales for sale. So we're going to get right into the layouts. Here we have the Port Washington, Wisconsin Metro Railroad Club. And we have a passing CSX manifest train. Right out of the gate here, great bridge work. Nice scenery, detail on the trees, the landscape. I really enjoy the scenery on this layout here. They've got a really nice tunnel as well. Really like the track work. The ballast work is very detailed as well. And we've got a passing Chicago and Northwestern local there. Here we've got a panning shot of the depot and a small switching yard. Looks like they model multiple eras here. We've got some coaling water towers and coal towers as well. And that was a shot of the upcoming show in Cedarburg, Wisconsin this spring. Come on out if you can make it. Back to the layout, we've got a turntable and a small engine house, and then a homestead here with some livestock Great detail on the buildings. We've got a picture of the whole layout here. And our passing C&W local. But like I was saying, great detail on the buildings. I really like the weathering. They are very realistic looking, as well as the detail within the various industries. So we'll take a closer look at a detail shot here. Even the shingles and the roofing is very detailed. Back to the layout. Nice road work and grade crossings. And we've got a small town here, it looks like, with a warehouse and a loading dock. And even a construction scene with a moving excavator along the roadside there. So that adds a lot of detail. And then of course, I've seen this on multiple layouts lately, the KFC. That one's pretty popular, so they've got that KFC as well. Another tunnel in the background with a nice water scene there. And now our CSX train has added a Burlington Northern and BNSF locomotive into the mix. And a nice still shot of the main street. And panning along the main street here, very nice detail work on the buildings. They've got vehicles on the layout, but not too many. The same with people. They're in the layout, but not too many. So very nicely done here. We'll move along. Another warehouse with various industry. And then this scrapyard was very neat. Got some animation going on as well there in the scrapyard. Very nice touch. And another look along this section of the layout. Very nice detailed work, even on the fencing is weathered. The smokestack. And a still image of the scrapyard. I really like the smokestack there at the factory. And moving along, more industry here. Getting kind of back to where we started on the layout, with one last look along this section here. Very nicely done for the Port Washington, Wisconsin Club. All right, so we're going to move along here now. Here we have an O-gauge layout with multiple trains running. We've got steam trains, coal trains. I think there's even a Barbie train in the mix. So here is our coal train with a Chicago and Northwestern locomotive leading the way. A steam train passing by with actual steam coming out of the stack. Multiple different scenes going on here. We've got residential, we've got industry, multiple trains passing by, and there is the Barbie train passing by. I believe that's what that is anyway. And a couple steam trains, one of them flying by. A miniature layout here or diorama for the kids. And back to the main layout, multiple children's themes thrown into the layout as well, but also multiple realistic scenes. So a little bit of everything on this O gauge layout. It is the Lionel Railroad Club of Milwaukee. Looks like they are celebrating 70 years of service, so congratulations to them. Very cool layout. We appreciate you coming out here today, as well as all the vendors, clubs, and organizations. And that looks like a steam train with beer cars on it. Another small little layout for kids. Got a steam train and Thomas running around there. And a picture of that. And another picture from the side. So moving along here, we're back to HO scale. We've got a Wisconsin and Southern train here. I really like that one. And a nice country scene with trees, very nice scenery, nice track work, nice ballast work, multiple trains running. This layout here is not complete from what you can see. I'm not sure what club or organization this layout belongs to, but looks like it is under construction. Here we've got a nice winter scene, very realistic with the snow on the ground, the trees, and the structures. So it looks like when this is done, it's going to be very detailed. Looks like a depot or passenger station there. Maybe a farm in the future in the corner there. A steam train rounding the corner. And then various locomotives around a turntable, and I assume a roundhouse to come in the future. And then a few pictures so you can get a closer up look of the layout, including the 7-Eleven here. Next up, we've got the Fond du Lac Society of Model Railroad Hobbyists from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Getting right into the layout, we've got a city scene here. Nice work on the buildings. Nice work on the track work. The streets are very realistic. We've got an overpass here. Looks like a little power substation. And then multiple trains running. We've got a steam train here and E.J.&E locomotive pulling a manifest train. So various vehicles scattered about, not too many, which is perfect. Don't want to add too much clutter. A nice lighthouse and water scene here with a canal or river. Very nice bridge work. And some still images so you can get a more detailed look at some of these sections. They had a circus train running around as well. Another picture of the EJ&E locomotive. And then the Wisconsin and Southern caboose. I really liked that one. And back to the layout. They've got multiple tracks running along the layout. Very nice detail on all of the buildings. The ballast work is great. Another steam locomotive on this layout here with real steam. Got a Shell fuel farm there. And then now we've got a Wisconsin Central locomotive pulling our circus train, along with our EJ&E heritage unit. And then in the corner here we've got a wind farm, which is pretty cool. And then some CSX power tied down. This section here looked like a staging yard with multiple tracks. Say hello to my girlfriend. And then a Wisconsin and Central heritage unit tied down. I really like these steam trains when they put out steam like that. Very realistic. And they even had a caboose donation box. So, Fond du Lac Society of Model Railroad Hobbyists, thank you for coming out today. And then continuing on along the layout, a very nice roundhouse and turntable. We've got a Southern Pacific switcher on the turntable there with our circus train passing by. And then we've got a daylight steam locomotive here. I'm actually not sure if that was Daylight or Milwaukee Road back there, but either way, various locomotives. We've got Amtrak, Conrail. Looks like a little fueling station here, possibly, and then a interlocking tower, and various industry. So it looks like that 7-Eleven section we showed you earlier is actually from this layout here with the folks from Fond du Lac. So very nicely done. Up next we have Kettle Moraine Ballast Scorchers from West Bend, Wisconsin. I've seen these folks here from West Bend at multiple shows. So again, thank you guys for coming out. Getting into the layout here, we've got multiple scenes going on. Depots, a construction scene here. Looks like a downtown area. Nice graffiti on the fence. Multiple tracks, various industry here. And then we've got a Green Bay Packer train. This was pretty cool. They've got the Lombardi trophies on the flats there, as well as replica Super Bowl rings and various other Green Bay Packers rolling stock. So pretty unique, kind of a novelty train here, but definitely cool to put on display and allow everyone to enjoy this. Looking at the detail work on the layout here, I really like the ballast work, the grass and trees and scenery is very realistic. Moving along, taking another look at the Green Bay Packer train. It was quite long, so it was pretty cool to see. I'm assuming this is the owner of the train assembling the train here and getting it built. Looks like this section here is a staging yard. So again, this is the Kettle Moraine Ballast Scorchers from West Bend, Wisconsin. Appreciate you guys attending the show today so we could check out your layout. Moving along, we've got a crossing here with a gravel road moving into like a country scene around the bend. We've got a bicentennial train here with the bicentennial locomotive and multiple bicentennial rolling stock cars. Moving back into the city, looks like a drive-in. I'm assuming there in the background as our Packer train passes by. Looks like an old drive-in, and then more downtown to the left of that. Now we're getting a full look at the entire Green Bay Packer train. So pretty cool. Even got some trailers there, box cars, and a Packers caboose. So moving along, various industry, downtown scenes. Here it looks like we've got a large soccer field. So a large soccer field there with a game going on. And moving along, we've got some countryside here with some prairie. And then along the bend here, we've got a nice pond or lake scene with a boat launch. It looks like one of those ducks from Wisconsin Dells back there. So that's very realistic to the area. And then our bicentennial train passing by here now. Moving back into the city, we've got a depot, a water tower, and our cityscape that we took a look at earlier. So thank you guys for coming out. Moving out of the greenhouse now, we're into the main lobby or hallways here that connect all the domes. So we've got the tropical dome here. They've got a desert dome. We had multiple organizations and layouts here. We've got the Metro Milwaukee Z-Scale layout. Appreciate you guys coming out. And a look at their Z-Scale layout. They also show you the different scales here and what the tracks look like for those. And then we've got the Milwaukee and Southeastern layout. So we'll take a look at that here now. This one was quite large. They've even got a sign with flashing lights. Nice detail on the scenery. Very nice bridge work. Really enjoyed the water scenery. The trees, very realistic. The road work. Nice weathering on the buildings. And I believe this is an N-scale layout. Very nice LED lights within the city here. We've got a Ford dealership as well, it looks like. So, very nice detail with the lights. It adds so much to the layout. The vehicles are very realistic and modern. So nicely done there. Here we're taking a look at another N-scale layout. Also very detailed. We've got a Metra train, I believe they're running. Multiple scenes going on. Even stuff in the background there. So, appreciate you guys coming out here today. And then a still image here of a canal of some sort with a barge. We've got some high-speed bullet trains running by. Multiple different scenes here. Even a sci-fi scene here as well. So, very cool, especially for the kids to take a look at a layout like this and get them interested in the hobby. Here we've got the Milwaukee Light Engineering Society Railroad Park with their very large scale cabooses and rolling stock and interesting cars here that they brought along today. Even a nuclear flat here. And then a Milwaukee Road car as well. These were huge, so pretty neat. Another layout here with a Rio Grande passenger train rolling by. They've got a Rio Grande Heritage unit pulling that. And then now we're going to go into the actual domes. So as you can see, they have an exhibit here with multiple trains running. Here we've got a big boy running by. And they really incorporate this into the gardens very well. So this exhibit here goes on for a few months. I believe into March. So this exhibit in the actual domes runs for quite some time. What we were showing you earlier in that separate greenhouse that was not a dome, that was just Saturday and Sunday this particular weekend. But this actual exhibit here runs for multiple days. If you haven't seen it and you're in the area, I believe it runs towards the end of March, but I did post the information at the beginning of the video. Just pause the video and take a look at those flyers that I posted for more information. But very cool I've never been in these domes before. It was so beautiful to see all these flowers and plants, and then as well, something that I'm interested in, the trains running around as well. So very cool. Me and my girlfriend spent quite some time in the domes, taking a look around. As you can see, they are massive, and they do have multiple domes on the property, each with a different theme. So very cool to see these trains running around and being incorporated in a realistic way into the domes. There you have it. The train show was Saturday and Sunday only on those dates and that time listed. Here we've got a Lego layout. And then we move into the Rainforest Dome. Only that first dome we showed you had the train exhibit running around. The other domes did not, but you could check them out for the admission price. So we took a look at everything. This dome here is replicating the rainforest, so a tropical rainforest. They've got a waterfall and then a koi pond here. Very neat. These domes were not as crowded, so it was kind of nice to come in here to take a break from the crowd. And then next up, we move into the Desert Dome. And then a picture here of me and my beautiful girlfriend. And then a look around the Desert Dome. This one here was actually one of my favorites, I think. Between this one and the first dome we took a look at, it was pretty close as far as which one I enjoyed more, but I think this one took the cake. But the other one was awesome, of course, because of the train exhibit. But very realistic here. So multiple cacti and vegetation and plants and rocks, gravel and so forth. So I really like the cacti, the rock and gravel and desert scenery, so this was right up my alley. There was even some pigeons or birds up there on the cliffs. And then back into the main lobby or hallway, we've got an Oscar Mayer Wiener train with some of the Slinky dogs from Toy Story. So a really fun layout here for kids especially. And then some amusement park rides, the circus as well. So it looks like Glacial Railways model train exhibit here. Thank you guys for coming out, along with Illinois Railway Museum from Union, Illinois, the best rail museum in the country in my opinion. Thank you for coming out, as well as all the vendors, clubs, and organizations. We appreciate you attending the exhibit and train show today. And then last but not least, it's not a rail fan trip without some food, and in this case, Rocky Rococo Pizza. We got a large mother load pizza to go, and we took that home and enjoyed that for dinner. So, like always, guys, thank you for watching, especially if you made it to the end here. I appreciate you watching the whole video. Give the video a like. Leave us your comments. What did you think? And then definitely subscribe to the RockRiverRails channel. It helps us make a few dollars, and every subscription helps the algorithm out and so forth. So appreciate you watching. Like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will catch you guys next time here with RockRiverRails.